The rumors are heating up, and there's a buzz in the air at Flowery Branch. The 2025 NFL Draft isn't just another event for the Atlanta Falcons. It's a high-stakes moment that could completely reshape the future of the franchise. Now, before we get into the details, go ahead and drop a like and let us know in the comments. How do you feel about Terry Fontenot's performance so far? Are you impressed or still unsure? Let's set the stage. With just hours left before the draft kicks off in Green Bay, the Falcons are sitting on a powder keg of options. They hold the 15th overall pick, and trust me, everyone's paying attention. Inside Atlanta's war room, it's chaos in the best way. Phones are ringing, trade options are on the table, and the draft board is being studied like a master chess player planning a game-winning move. Every decision matters. The right one could build a championship defense. The wrong one? It could haunt the team for years. So who are the names tied to this pick? Let's start with Mike Green out of Marshall. This guy isn't just good, he's a game changer. Green led college football in sacks last season and has quickly become a fan favorite among Falcons supporters. He's explosive, relentless, and fits perfectly with the kind of defense head coach Raheem Morris is trying to build. Scouts rave about his strength, technique, and how quickly he breaks down a pocket, like a tent in a windstorm. But here's the problem. Everyone knows it. Atlanta's draft plans have been leaking left and right. Analysts like Todd McShay have already linked the Falcons to not just Green, but also to James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee and Walter Nolan from Ole Miss. In a league where secrecy is key, this kind of transparency is risky. If other teams catch wind of Atlanta's plans, it could lead to someone swooping in and stealing their guy. And now, there's more fuel on the fire. Mel Kiper Jr. has thrown Michigan's Kenneth Grant into the mix, and Grant is no joke. He's 6 feet 4 inches, 331 pounds, and earned All-American honors in 2024. He had 32 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, and 27 quarterback pressures last season. He's big, fast for his size, and could easily step into a role like the one Grady Jarrett has held down for years. If the Falcons decide not to go with Green, Grant could be their sleeper pick if they don't get cold feet. And hey, don't forget what happened last year. Atlanta pulled off a surprise move by drafting Michael Penix Jr., a decision so well hidden that even the betting markets didn't see it coming. That kind of secrecy worked out once. Will they pull off another shocker this year? But here's the weird part. This year, there's been almost no misdirection from the Falcons. Not a single rumor about tight ends like Tyler Warren or cornerbacks like Johnny Barrow War Johnson. And that silence says a lot. It means Atlanta's draft plans are wide open for everyone to see. So what's the move here? Terry Fontenot and the front office have a big decision to make. They could stay at the 15th pick and hope their guy falls to them. They could trade up. Maybe for Georgia's Michael Williams, who fits Raheem Morris's vision of a big physical edge rusher. Or they could make a bold move, sending that 15th pick to the New York Giants in exchange for Kayvon Thibodeau, the former number 5th overall pick. That would be a game changer and could solve 2 problems at once. But this draft isn't just about picking a player, it's about sending a message. Are the Falcons ready to fully commit to fixing their defense and ending their long-standing pass rush struggles? Or will they take a more creative route, thinking about life after Kyle Pitts and Caleb McGarry by adding help on offense? And don't forget, Atlanta only has 5 picks in this draft. Every single one has to count. There's no room for mistakes. This isn't just about building a team. It's about shaping the Falcons' future identity. Now let's turn it over to you, Falcons fans. If you were in the war room with Terry Fontenot, what would you do? Would you stay put and take the best edge rusher available? Or would you go bold and make a move that could change the course of the franchise? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is your team too. Because here's the truth. This draft isn't just about one player. It's about a turning point. The Falcons have been here before. We've seen the flashes of potential, and we've also felt the heartbreak, missed tackles, defensive collapses, fourth-quarter letdowns. That's why this year feels so different. That's why it has to be different. Let's go back to that Kayvon Thibodeau trade idea. If it happens, It might be one of the biggest moves Atlanta has made in years. The Giants are desperate for a quarterback, and if someone like Jackson Dart is available, they might be willing to deal. Meanwhile, Atlanta could land a young, proven pass rusher and still keep flexibility for later picks, if they play it smart. Thibodeau, once seen as a cornerstone defender, could thrive under Raheem Morris. Pair him with a healthy Grady Jarrett, or even a new talent like Kenneth Grant, and suddenly you've got a scary defensive front. But again, this is about more than just picks. It's about strategy. And right now, the rest of the league knows exactly what the Falcons want. Everyone from the Bengals to the Dolphins knows Atlanta is hunting for a pass rusher. That's a big problem, because when the draft board starts to move, other teams can use that information. They can trade up. They can leapfrog the Falcons. They can steal the player Atlanta is counting on. And it's not just Mike Green, James Pierce Jr., or Walter Nolan in the mix. Abdul Carter is another name you can't ignore. He's not just a background option. He's a serious game changer, the kind of edge rusher who could completely transform a defense. Some mock drafts even have him going as high as number 3rd overall. If the Giants are focused on grabbing a quarterback, the Falcons might be able to flip their pick and take advantage of that situation. That kind of move wouldn't just land them a good player, it would give them serious leverage for the rest of the draft. Now, let's talk about a bold possibility. A trade-up. GM Terry Fontenot hasn't given much away, but don't rule out the Falcons making a jump into the top 10. The wild card here? Michael Williams from Georgia. He's been linked to the Saints at number 9, and he's exactly the type of player Raheem Morris wants on defense. Big, athletic, disruptive. If New Orleans passes on him, could Atlanta package some picks or even future assets to move up and grab him? All of this is happening with the big picture in mind. Atlanta already has its quarterback. They've got a star wide receiver, and their workhorse running back is locked in. But none of that matters if the defense doesn't take a major step forward, fast. That's why this draft is so important. That's why the pressure is cranked all the way up. Just look at the history. Atlanta's defense has struggled to get consistent pressure for years. It's been a constant cycle of short-term fixes and hopeful signings. But that strategy isn't good enough anymore. The NFC South is wide open. Tampa Bay is in transition. New Orleans is up and down. Carolina is rebuilding. The time to strike is now. The core of this team is in place. It's time to build around it and lock down the future. And here's something else to keep in mind. Don't be shocked if the Falcons make a surprise pick in rounds 2 or 3, especially on offense. Tight end is still a sneaky need. Kyle Pitts hasn't quite lived up to the hype since his rookie season, and there's growing talk that the team might be planning for life after him. Someone like Tyler Warren from Penn State could be a great day 2 steal. And let's not forget the offensive line. Caleb McGarry and Jake Matthews won't be anchoring the line forever. Atlanta could easily look to draft a developmental tackle or two to prepare for the future. What we know for sure is this draft won't be your typical one. The smokescreens may be fewer, but the stakes, they've never been higher. Now it's your turn again. If you're riding with the Dirty Birds, if red and black run through your veins, let your voice be heard. Smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed. Let's go, Falcons.